Hi, my name is Rocco. I'm 24, I'm from Italy, and I'm 6'6", 6'7". That's 202, 203, last time I measured. I thought I was more, but then my mom measured me and I realized I was a couple of centimeters less, which wasn't a bad thing to find out. I'm from Italy, Trieste. It's a town near Venice. It's literally next to the border with Slovenia.
Hello, my name is Simon Hickman and I'm one of the volunteers who help run the Tall Persons Club of GB and Ireland. I'm shrunk down to 6'4" now, which makes me well below the average of the club. The founder of the club, a man named Phil Heinrichi, he heard a piece on TV asking for tall people to come, and he went, and from then he met loads of tall people, and they all said, wouldn't it be great if there was a place where all the information could be found out, and these was in the day before the internet. And within that year, 1991, he started the Tall Persons Club over here. If we're doing a meetup for the club, we have slight requirements where we would say normally a man would be over 6'3" and a woman would be over 5'9". But to join the club, if you feel tall, then welcome.
Maybe I've always found reality maybe being underwhelming in some ways. I've always liked the idea of like escapism, whether it's through films, whether it's through TV shows, whether it's through book. Maybe I didn't like as much as I do now being tall, especially because I had that one summer when I grew 16, 17 centimeters in one summer. So, there were people that I knew, and then they saw me 17 centimeters more. I was that was a huge difference. I was looking up to most people. Before that, I was kind of average height, and after that one, I was okay, I'm already pretty tall. I think because both my parents are very tall, so I knew I was gonna be tall, so I knew it was coming, so that kind of prepared me.
One of the biggest struggles that's not seen is that a lot of tall people, that they didn't choose to be tall. It's one thing you can't change, and some people don't want to stand out. I think that the stereotype of being tall and confident is out there in society, but I don't think that most tall people are that confident. I just think that is considered to be a good thing to be tall, and that's why people are always quite happy to talk to you about it, because it's not a negative thing in their mind, but if you're living in this body, you have to get used to it all the time. So yeah, I would say that being tall, people have certain perceptions of you, and sometimes people can be scared of you. I think at school it's much more likely that a tall person is bullied rather than they are bullied. They often get called out. There are numerous people, you get hundreds of emails from parents of teenagers who are unhappy because they're standing out and they don't want to, and they don't like living in that tall teenage body. I would say that the height that it starts to get complicated is when you start hitting your head on doors. For men, that tends to be 6'3". For women, the height that gets, they have a lot of different issues where it's difficult to find romantic partners, and they have problems from 5'10" upwards, especially from over 6 foot.
Most of the places I go into, I have to duck down. Even in this house where I live. I don't think there's a door where I don't have to duck down. But I think the worst one is definitely the tube. is the only one that's actually kind of a problem, because when it's just ducking down for a second to go through a door, you know, it's okay. It's a bit annoying, but you get over it. With the tube, especially some lines, it is, if I'm not sitting down and I can really stand up and I have a very long journey, it can be a bit, bad. And sometimes I'm sitting down in Central Line or whatever, Piccadilly Line, and I get like some stares from like people that would feel like, oh, you're young, you're male, why are you sitting down? Why are you not letting me sit down?
I think it is a disability in that there are some things that should be free, like extra leg room on planes.
Especially in a world that it's like has never been this inclusive, you know, they try to accommodate everyone, and in this case it's a bit of a, I would like to say there's a different category of people. There are people who might be uncomfortable, and for those people, you know, you could say, okay, you're uncomfortable, but you're paying less. So, you know, you don't really need the extra leg. And then there's a category of people that can't fit, like physically, in the Ryanair, like normal seats. If I put my legs like that, I can't fit. I have to put my legs in the hallway. Sometimes, say I'm standing up next to the door and I'm like the same height as the door, and then I'm sitting down and I look at the door and I realize that's how people see me, and that's when you realize, oh, okay, that's a lot. Yeah. Probably I would take down a few centimeters. Probably my ideal height would be more around 195. But I would like to still be that tall. So maybe a few centimeters, but I wouldn't take down like a lot. I never feel pressure personally being tall. I think most of the people that I know, or most of the people that I talk to about my height, they're all kind of enthusiastic about it. There was this one guy that took a photo just because I was so tall, but they didn't ask me for the photo, so we just went like that, like I was a superstar, and just took a photo, which I thought was a bit weird.
What happens when we meet up is it's a bit unusual because tall people aren't used to walking into a room full of other tall people. You're used to being the tallest person in the room and people looking at you when you walk in. You're not used to walking in the room and there suddenly being, you know, your average height or below average height. At one meetup, we had a woman from South Korea who was 6'1", who came over and came to the meetup, and when we all stood up, she cried because she said that she hated her height, basically, and she vowed that she was going to marry the smallest man that she could so that her children wouldn't have that sort of problem, but she absolutely loved it, and that's what happens.
It's also like when you take photos with a group. If it's like a large group, it's fine because you can just, you know, squeeze in the back. But when it's a photo of like 2-3 people, you kind of have to be in the background. You can't really be, you know, in a close-up. Well, hugging can be pretty difficult if you're tall. Of course, depends how tall is the other person, but because so the thing you have to bend in a sort of like in a natural way, so it kind of feels weird. It doesn't feel natural the way you hug someone. Go for it. Wait.
The normal one?
Or? Just hug how you would. You ready? Go for it. Ready?
There are loads of benefits from being tall. There are huge benefits from being tall. I love it. You can see above the crowd. You don't have to be under someone's armpit on the tube. You know, you can certain sports, it's a real advantage. And also, people always remember you because you're tall Simon, you're tall Alfred, you're tall Mohammed, you know, Sarah, whatever. I think when you're in a supermarket, it's part of our duty to reach up, if asked to, for the top shelf to get something for someone. It happens all the time, and I never mind doing it. I just wish someone would help me get the ones from the bottom shelf, which is a bit harder for me to get to. Oh, there's been loads of, I wouldn't say hundreds, but absolutely loads of people who've met in the club and who've got married from it. People, like I said, their children are coming to the club now because it's been going 34 years. So there's people, I've met my girlfriend in the club. So, you know, that is people all the time. And they often make good, long friends for life.
Some are heated, some are not, and they got
One really nice thing is being in a crowd and like then my friends spot me out of nowhere. I'm terrible at finding anyone in a crowd, but they'll just see me as the beacon.
They can never lose you, can they? Yeah. For me, I would say it's always the best icebreaker, and also the best it forces you to get creative with clothes as well. Obviously, you can't really find the right sizes, so it's you're forced to kind of take shortcuts. Yeah.
I think the worst thing about being tall is it's really hard to find clothes and shoes, and it's hard to fit into buses and transport. But the positive things about being tall is you stand out. You kind of have to really embrace your height, and people notice you, and you can use that for good.
It is brilliant to be able to talk face to face, eye to eye with people of a similar height.
Yeah, and similarly, I've been going here since, I've been a member of the Tall Club since '98. I've been coming to the socials since 2000, and every year it's fantastic. You get to meet fellow tall people. It's a great social standing.
So I'm Taz. I've been with the Tall Club for about 22 years. I've been an organiser with the Tall Club in Berkshire where I live. I come from Bracknell. I've been working up here today. I come to this amazing event. Try and get here as much as possible. I go to the Gala Ball. We have a Gala Ball every August. The Tall Club is an absolute fantastic venue. The people are great, and yeah, it's just a really good social event, and everyone gets along because of our height. And I'm 6'4".
I'm only 6'4", or 193 centimetres, so I'm one of the shorter people in the room, and it's just lovely being with my people, not having to bend down to hear what they're saying and stuff like that.
This is what it's all about. Tall people meeting each other in London last Friday of every month, and it just makes my heart sing to see tall people standing tall and chatting to one another.
The one thing we can't change is our height. So please make the most out of it. Enjoy life. Enjoy what the height gives you, our height gives you, and learn to live with the things that aren't so good. The sooner you embrace it, the better your life will be. Please stand tall.